Hey everybody, I'm Kris Brown. I'm your race director for the Golden Gate Trail Classic here in San Francisco. This is your runner briefing for all distances, 10K, half marathon, 50K, and 50 mile. In addition to this, I recommend and in fact implore all of you to go read the runner's guides on the website. There's a different one for each distance. Super valuable information in there. You're going to be lost without it. So after this, please go read your runner's guide. I'm going to start with the most important information here, how to get here. All of your races have a remote parking lot for the start. We're going to be parking everybody at the Palace of Fine Arts in the Presidio, and you're going to be taking a shuttle from there. Shuttles start 2 hours before your race start, and the last shuttle is 45 minutes before your race start. So do your own math about when your start time is on Saturday or Sunday. First shuttle 2 hours before, last shuttle 45 minutes before. One little caveat there though, the 10K, we're opening the start line for an additional hour. We're going to be doing waves, so first heat's going to go off at 11 as planned, but since the start area is so small over there and since we have so many people signed up, we're spreading it out a little bit. So instead of everyone starting at 11, we're going to let you start up until noon, and we're going to do little heats until then. And so in addition to that, shuttles are going to go until 11:15 for that 10K. So a little extra time. Feel free to show up a little later, get on one of those later shuttles, and just make sure you're at the start by noon. Parking at all of the start locations is dicey at best and impossible at worst. So that 10K, don't even try to go to the start line. There's absolutely no parking there. You're gonna have to drive for miles and you're not gonna make it to the start in time if you try. The half marathon, there is a little bit of parking at Rodeo Beach. It's a possibility. If you're running late though, I wouldn't recommend trying it because there's not quite enough parking for everybody. So if in doubt, use the shuttle. 50K and 50 mile. It's a neighborhood here. There is neighborhood parking. It's mostly unrestricted on the weekend, but you might not be able to find a spot, and the parking lot in which the start is located has no parking at all, so don't try that. We recommend you carpool. The parking lot where the shuttle is taking off from, it's pretty small. We're going to be limited in space there on both days, so please carpool to that shuttle, or get a ride from somebody to the start line. Take an Uber, take a Lyft. Just make sure to leave enough time, and if in doubt, carpool to that shuttle pickup. The shuttle costs $10. Sorry about that. It's got to happen. There is a link to pay for the shuttle in your runner's guide online. If you haven't done that yet, please do it. You're also, you can pay for the shuttle at Packet Pickup. I'll give you more info on that in a little bit. Speaking of starts though, wave starts for just about all the races here. On Saturday, 50K and 50 mile, we're doing a wave start, sending off like 20 runners every 2 minutes. There's a reason for this. Shortly into the course, we have to do a section on the sidewalk through a neighborhood. We can't have hundreds of people running on the sidewalk together, so we're sending off about 20 people every 2 minutes or so, and that'll alleviate the congestion through that area. On Sunday for the half marathon, everyone's going off together. We might have to split it, into maybe 2 heats to get people through a bottleneck a little easier, but pretty much 1 heat there. The 10K, like I said, we're opening the start line for a little longer, so you will have an hour of heats there. Because of that, we're using chip time for everything. So no gun time, all chip time, and please be sensitive to that when you get to the finish line. If somebody passed you in the last 100 meters and you think they beat you, but it turns out you beat them because you got across the start line later than they did and your overall time's a little faster, don't be mean about it. You beat them fair and square, but just be sensitive to the fact that whoever crosses the finish line first is not necessarily who won the race. So if you end up on a podium or off a podium because of that, just keep it in mind. Chip time, not gun time. So packet pickup. Friday, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Sports Basement in the Presidio. This is really close to where your shuttle bus pickup is on Saturday and Sunday morning. So go there from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Really recommend that you go to the packet pickup because on race morning, again, we got tons of people signed up for this race, and the lines on race morning to pick up your bib and your chips going to be long. So please go to Sports Basement on Friday if you can. Pick up that packet there. Okay, a couple race day things to call out. Cutoffs. There are some cutoffs. The most important one is getting back onto the Golden Gate Bridge. If you're not leaving the aid station at the Golden Gate Bridge by 6:25 p.m., you're cut off. There's no alternative finish station or finish line this year. we're driving you home from there. They close the bridge at 6:30, and we can't let you out of that aid station past 6:25. It's a hard rule. There are some intermediate cutoffs before that. So at other aid stations before the Golden Gate Bridge, there are cutoffs. They're intentionally generous. So just because you made a cutoff a few miles before the Golden Gate Bridge doesn't mean you're on pace to make the cutoff for the Golden Gate Bridge. So please pay attention to your pace. All this is in the runner's guide. It gives you the pace you need to be running to get to that bridge. But yeah, if you were close to a cutoff at one of the earlier aid stations, say Cardiac or Muir Beach, if you're close to that cutoff, you are way behind the cutoff to get to the Golden Gate Bridge in time. So please read the runner guide, pay attention to the pace you need to run to get to that Golden Gate Bridge in time. We want you to make it all the way back into the city. Pacers are allowed for the 50K and the 50 mile. You can pick them up at Muir Beach or Rodeo Beach, nowhere else, because there's no parking anywhere else. Your Pacers need to arrange their own transportation out to those locations. They can get a ride, an Uber, whatever they want. But we're not driving them out there, and we're not driving them back. We're not driving their cars back for them. So you got to figure out a way to get their car out there, however you want to do it. But Pacers do need to arrange their own transportation. Drop bags. So two different kind of forms here: drop bags and then bag check, just to clear it up for you folks. Bag check, meaning leaving a bag at the start and having it there for you at the finish. We have that for all races. So on Saturday, your start and finish are at the same place. We'll have a place for you to leave a bag, and it'll be there waiting for you when you get to the finish. On Sunday, when you go to Rodeo Beach for the half marathon or Garibaldi Trailhead for the 10K, we will have a big truck there where you can put a bag of warm clothes or whatever you want for the finish line. We're going to drive it straight to the finish line for you. So bag check from start to finish, both days, all races. Drop bags are different. These are on-course drop bags, only available for the 50 miler, and they're only going to be available at Cardiac Aid Station. So we will have a separate location for where drop bags are going on Saturday morning. Put your bags in that truck. They're going to go out to Cardiac. You'll hit that aid station twice. We'll be keeping track of who went through, set their bags aside when they're through the second time, and then bring them back to the finish. We're going to be doing runs, bringing drop bags back all day. There is a chance that you beat your bag back, but hopefully not by much, because we're going to be doing it as often as possible and trying to get those bags back to the finish before you are. Yeah, folks, other than that, please read that runner's guide again. There's a bunch more information in there. Again, I'm trying to keep this brief, so you hopefully watch the whole thing. And please leave some comments below if there's questions you don't think we've addressed, and we'll be sure to watch that and answer any questions you have. Really stoked to have you out here. Oh, last thing. It was looking like good weather this weekend and that all the rain was going to be out of the forecast by the time race day rolled around. Saturday, folks, I'm sorry. It looks like it might be a sopping wet race for your 50K and 50 miler. The trails will hold up. We don't anticipate any course changes because of the weather, but it just means you got to take extra care of yourself out there, stay warm. A rain jacket, a waterproof jacket is part of your mandatory kit. For more on the mandatory kit, go to that runner's guide. We took the warm gear out of there and just left that rain jacket on the mandatory gear list, but you might do well to bring a little warm layer with you too. So please pay attention to that. Look at your runner's guide and make sure you know the mandatory kit, and take care of yourselves, folks. It's going to be a fun race. This new course is really cool. It's a little more running in the city, but you know, we were marking it yesterday, and it's still just super awesome. You get to see a lot of cool stuff, and you know, as you can see, view's awesome from here. Views are awesome over the whole course, so we can't wait to have you out. Thank you.